Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
There it is.
Why?
I was about to say,
Why?
there we go.
Literally, there would be zero work at the beginning if Fleric would just stop dropping instant F-bombs.
But this is what a Fleric does.
Hey, as long as Fleric promises not to drop another F-bomb, as long as we stick
He
by
doesn't promise that.
I'm
He
just saying,
absolutely does not promise that.
we could just start the episode with "Go F yourself," and then I would just say, "Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Ryan."
But then if we have another F, then we get an R rating.
Hey,
You know
Who gives us an R rating?
the MPAA has had it out for us for years. Fleric.
That is also
true.
They just don't want us
Granted,
to
we keep on
release our
trying to remake Rocky, but just with like sumo characters.
Hey, that will
intellectual
work.
property.
It will happen. We just have to keep trying.
I don't know,
Mhm.
man. I until we can get our podcast released in widespread
movie
theaters,
theaters across America.
Yeah.
like does it
Yes,
even really
they
matter? Do we
need
even
to
count?
see this. The underdog Teruno Fuji, top of his game, fell down and is now fighting his way back up. This is movie quality.
I'm not saying
Also,
welcome
Mob
to Grand
Man
Sumo Breakdown again. Like we're going. This
No,
is
let's
Jake.
do it. Get going. Get going, Ryan.
well, you have to say your part.
Go fuck yourself.
He did it. He's done it. And that was Fleric, and I'm Mac. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, everybody.
All right, this is our Haru Midway episode. There are going to be spoilers through day 8. So as always, if you have not watched day 8 for whatever reason, pause this podcast, go watch everything you've missed up to day 8, and then turn this podcast back on and probably listen. No, I'm not even going to set Fleric up for anymore.
Nope.
Wise.
Just slide right through. Not that anybody cares, but for
Mhm.
some reason we kind of care. All right. Jake had a note real quick about somebody you wanted to shout out before we get into things.
Yes, I walked into my house back from vacation like 15 minutes ago, so I am still a bit rattled. But waiting on my porch was a delivery from a Mr. Movie Mulligan, one of the
Beautiful.
coolest Instagram follows out there. And he's been doing sumo art for a long time now, and we finally decided we'd get us an original. Go
That's a cool
check
photo.
out. Yeah.
What scene is that from?
This is from our unreleased drama, Rocky, but this time it's sumo. He got us a drawing of Hakuho triumphantly standing over Teruno Fuji in that epic final match where he did the fist pump and everything. But Movie Mulligan, all one word, all lowercase and all that, on Instagram if you want to see more cool sumo art. Just very cool style, very fun to see the stuff that he's been putting out.
Absolutely love it.
And
Also-
another thing. Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say also if anybody else does sumo art, I also want it on my wall.
Yeah.
Yes, I was about to say, please reach
Yeah.
out to us.
Yeah, we've already got Art of Sumo.
Mhm.
So that's taken care of. But if there's anybody else,
We got this guy that I have on my wall that does MMA stuff, but I told him about sumo and he's like, all right, okay.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool. That's Chris Rini.
all right, Fleric, why don't you do a compliment for one of our new patrons?
All right. This is a new compliment for someone who just recently joined the Patreon, and we have Nikki Chans.
What?
Huh?
Buddy.
Chans.
Come on.
I want to say Sanchez, but then I realized that's not actually what's there. So I was actually trying to use some phonics going on there.
Actually, he
But no.
did okay.
Yeah, Nikki
Did he?
Chans.
Yes,
Oh.
for a flag, he did fine.
Yeah, you are as fly as the 2 Ferrari drivers this morning who won a Grand Prix.
All right.
That's a Formula One reference.
It is, yeah.
Very good.
And for our other new patron this Basho, we have Daniel Roberts, and for him, we have It's Raining Dan. Hallelujah, it's raining Dan. Ah, Dan.
Oh,
I'm gonna go out to run and let myself get absolutely soaking Dan. All right. So, Mac, who are our
The
other
best and worst that we've ever had. Thank you, Ryan.
oh God. Oh, well, if you've survived that, to Anna Sukahara, Alex Hearn, Glenn Otto, King of Salt, Rob Graham, Giuseppe Silico, hopefully I'm saying that right, Octavian Martin, Caroline, Trent E., Jorge Lamarca, Rob Shields, Rhiannon McLean, Cole Brumley, and always a favorite, Emo Dingo. Your perseverance would put a Sekitori to shame.
Excellent. We also have a special insult this episode.
Oh,
What?
Wait.
Requested by the insultee. So our longtime listener and friend of the show, Josh, just realized in the last week or two that he didn't update his new card in Patreon. So it got declined like the last couple months. So he
Bummer.
requested for his shame to hear about the horrible austerity that he's been putting GSB through as our, being completely destitute without his $1 a month.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, since that card got declined, Ryan has been selling plasma from his baby.
Yep.
Fleric has
Very
been playing
valuable.
Ultimate with pie tins. I have been panhandling
good.
to try and save up to see the Batman. And Mac unfortunately has had to settle for mid-tier caviar.
Salmon eggs, man. This is not sturgeon quality.
So we figured Josh did mention, you should mention it on the show, but public shame is definitely the best way to get money out of people. So so Josh can go get his card updated and continue giving us money to just do nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
So about this baby plasma, that's probably like super plasma, right?
Oh yeah, it's super fresh and new. Nothing bad's happened to it at this point.
Yet.
They don't want my plasma since I am on drugs that suppress my immune system, so my plasma's no good. And my wife is a 30-year-old woman. 23-year-old woman.
Oh, Ryan.
She doesn't listen to this. Who cares?
Are you saying like woman plasma is no good or what?
That's not where I'm going with it, but it is now. Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Plasma for women is less valuable. But my daughter's a woman.
I was about to say, Ryan,
But she's
think
a
about
baby,
that for a
so
minute.
it's still better.
It cancels out. It's about
Yeah.
one strong man of plasma if you're
Yeah.
a baby.
Well, speaking
All
of
right,
a strong man,
So
there is
how much for a
currently-
barrel?
No, Fleric, we're moving on.
Okay.
Yes. As always, around the 10-minute mark of any of our episodes, this is a sumo podcast. So right now, the top of the standings for the Makuuchi division in the Haru Basho, we have a surprising leader alone at 8-0. Jake, who is leading this tournament?
I really haven't been following it too much.
It is as he sips from the Takayasu teacup of punishments, petty cash, and Patreon compliments. Takayasu himself, Papa Yasu. He's got another kid on the way. This
Hey.
is the fourth time Takayasu.
I wonder if he's selling baby plasma.
Not if he wins this U show. Then he should have
No.
plenty of money. Shouldn't have to result to the baby plasma.
Well, according to Ryan, hopefully it's a boy because then the plasma will be more valuable.
If it's baby and a boy, you can't get any better than that.
Prime plasma right there. Allegedly.
Yeah.
I'll take 10.
So this is Takayasu's fourth time starting a Basho 8-0. Obviously, he's never turned it into a Yusho win. Those previous Bashos, he has turned into a 10-5, 11-4, and a 12-3 consecutively. So it kind of leads me to thinking this is going to be a 13-2 for Takayasu here, which would be a career best record for him. But Fleric, do you anticipate a week 2 slide for Takayasu? This time last year, we were talking about Takayasu at the front of the pack, and he even extended the lead to a 2-win lead after day 10, and then he lost 4 of his final 5 matches. Do you see him doing the same thing this Basho?
4 of the last 5? I guess
Yeah.
what constitutes a slide? There's 7 matches left, right? I guess it doesn't matter. I definitely think he's going to lose some matches. I don't see him winning the U show. I guess I'll
Okay.
throw that out there. I think there's too much talent ahead of him. He's going to take him down.
All right, Mac, and do you agree with that? Is Takayasu not the favorite to win this Basho?
Well, having tripped over that verbiage / terminology in our preview episode, I will say that odds are not in his favor for taking this one. just because of what is ahead of him. He's beaten those behind. I was sweating bullets today with Wakamoto Haru, but
You gotta
other than that-
stop with your hate boner for that guy.
no, I will not until he gets a Makekoshi, and then I will stop hating him. But no, back to Takayasu. I think the odds aren't in his favor, but I don't know. This is sumo. That's the best way I can say it.
He's in good position. I'll give him that.
He is in good position. I agree.
Yeah, I would say he's got an advantage over last time because previously, the last time he started and was leading by 2 at day 10, he was a Sekiwake. So all of his difficult matches were still ahead of him with the Ozeki, and it probably wasn't a Yokozuna at that point. And so right now he's at Maegashira 7, and he's probably not, he's not going to have to face Teruno Fuji. The Ozeki that are there, we have Shodai, who clearly is not all that great. Mitake Yumi, Takakeisho doing good. So those could be some potential losses up there. And then you also look at the Sekiwake, if he get matched up with them, Wakatakage Abi, also pretty scary, but not as scary as the top ranks could be. And I imagine he'd only end up with probably 3 Sanyaku matches at the most. They typically don't start matching up the lower ranked Maegashiras with Sanyaku Rikishi if they're in like the Yusho race until like days 13 through 15. So if he can keep rolling over the rest of the Maegashira around him, maybe give Mitake Yumi a chance to drop another couple matches, Wakataka Kage, I think he's in a better position than he was last time. But I think I agree that I'm not quite sure he's going to pull through and take the win. Jake, now that you've had about 5 minutes to realize that Takayasu is in the lead and you're catching up with the results of sumo over the past week, what are your thoughts on if he will be able to finish?
I don't really want to talk about it. Just adjust my light up here.
None of us read Japanese. That means nothing to us.
I don't. I have no idea what it says.
Oh no, I don't know. It's I don't know. Whatever. It's just a tournament. It's fine.
There you go. Going the Vikings apathy, like emotions don't care.
Flick, that's never worked.
Yeah.
So let's talk about who is most likely to take the lead away from Takayasu if he were to falter, and that is a pack of 3 Rikishi at 7-1, led by Shin Ozeki, Mitake Yumi. This is his 3rd straight Basho where he has started it 7-1 or better. And so Jake, in kind of a stunning change of discourse for this podcast,
completely unlike what we were talking about before,
right?
Is there any reason to believe that Mitake Yumi will have a week 2 slump this Basho? Typically we're talking about, well, convince me he's not going to falter in week 2, but his past performances over the past 3 Basho or so leads me to believe, tell me he is going to have a slump, because I don't think he will.
I don't think so either. Like I have it noted multiple times on multiple days here that like just the way that he's wrestling is he's just dominating folks. You know, he's looking very good. It like legitimately kind of looks like he is got the confidence and the swagger and the, you know, he's wrestling like a Yokozuna, you know? I don't see any reason to think that that's going to change. Takakeisho is of course always the, you know, the next highest ranked guy remaining that I think would give him a lot of trouble. But their rivalry is fairly even, you know, that's by no means a guaranteed loss. Some of these younger guys that we don't have as much history with could certainly you know, give him some trouble. He hasn't faced Wakataka Kage or Abi yet. You know, those Ozeki and Sekiwake matches are, am I forgetting one?
No,
Ryan gave me a face.
When you said we haven't seen Mitake Yumi fight Wakataka Kage or Abi yet.
No,
I thought you
hey.
were meaning ever.
Oh,
not
yeah.
No. Just this
I
tournament.
figured it out, but
yeah. Okay, you gave me the face, and you always remember the specifics better than me, so I figured, shit, I got that one wrong.
No,
but no, we haven't seen him face a couple of those tough matchups, or a couple matchups against other front runners, I should say. And I guess in my mind, I don't have enough history of seeing him wrestle those guys to like have a, you know, confidence one way or another. But just the way that he has been wrestling so far has been incredibly impressive, and I don't see any reason to think there's going to be a slide.
Well, Flarek, what do you think is going to happen in that matchup against a fellow Rikshi at 7-1, Wakataka Kage? Did you see this coming, and how do you think he'll match up against Mitaka Yumi?
Wakataka Kage doing well.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Yeah.
At this well.
Yeah, this wall is surprising me, but I feel like he's been kind of slowly just putting out really good results. If there was any way to like figure out how he did the last Basho, I would be able to look that up.
I could tell
So
you
I have
it's
to-
9
so
and
I-
6, but
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to go with my gut because there's no way to actually know how well he did last Basho, and my gut is telling me he's slowly but surely doing quite well. But no, he's Sekiwake, I believe, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think the rank itself actually kind of proves that he's at least been getting like top 8 of the top 16 consistently, which is pretty dope. So I guess one off the Yusho pace. With the weekend Ozeki and Yokozuna, I guess I would probably guess this. So, and how would he do against Mitaka Yumi? I feel like Mitaka Yumi has the advantage just because of size, even though Wakataka Kage is like 6 foot. He feels like 5'2" for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because just everyone around him is just so huge.
He's certainly less spherical than those other guys.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
about to
But,
say he's definitely smaller.
But weirdly enough, both of those guys, their only loss has been to Kiribayama, who isn't doing spectacularly well.
5
He's
and
doing-
3 for
Yeah,
Kiribayama?
he's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, for whatever reason, he beat 2 of the top 4 guys. That's strange.
Kiribayama's putting together a decent basho so far at Maegashira 4.
He did lose to Shodai, so that's that's a qualified compliment, I guess.
Yeah.
Still
Well,
an
I will say-
Ozeki, but
Yeah, Shodai is kind of doing a rally though the last couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
I
get
will
to
say.
Shodai, but past 2 days has looked a lot better. But we do have one more Rikshi sitting at 7-1, and that is Maegashira 6 Koto Nowaka. His sole loss is to the Yusho race leader Takayasu, and I gotta say I'm very happy with what I have seen from Koto Nowaka in the preview episode. I was curious to see how he would do at this rank. I felt like this would be a good spot for him. He's a guy. Past couple times he's been down in like the double-digit Maegashira ranks. He's gotten 11 or more wins, fighting spirit prize, rocketed to the top. And the last time he rocketed to the top, he got a leg injury. And so really couldn't judge his performance. But I've been really impressed with his sumo so far. It hasn't been, I'm going to call it like Shodai sumo, where you just kind of happen to win the match. He's been dominating the matches, and you can see why he won the match. And so I'm very happy with Koto Nowaka here, and he will definitely be Maegashira like 1 or 2, depending on how the Bansuke falls out. But he'll definitely have his chance to be in the Joy next time, and we'll see really next time how he's doing. But at this level of the Bansuke, he's showing that he's more than capable of going further up the Bansuke. So we only have 2 more Rikshi that we would consider in the Yusho race right now at 6-2. So Jake, we have Ozeki Takakeisho. He struggled a little bit in the first few days, but he's rattled off 4 straight wins, and it looks like he's getting stronger as he goes along. Do you think Takakeisho is a legitimate Yusho contender, or is he a pretender at this point?
You got to say he's a contender, I think. It's weird. He didn't seem like those early couple losses were. I don't know. I don't have a good explanation for him because he doesn't seem to be like hurt or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe it was.
I
just
think
off
the
his
first one,
game.
Ichinojo's a terrible matchup for him.
Yeah,
He's
it-
too big for Takakeisho's style
Yeah.
to work all that well.
He can't easily push Ichinojo around the way he can like every other human on Earth. And once Ichinojo gets on the belt, Takakeisho has no weapons to defend
Yep.
against that. That's fair. But yeah, the last couple days, he's looked as, fully Takakeisho. So I don't see any reason to think that that's not legit. So it's unfortunate that he had 2 early on, because he's not going to be looked at as front of the pack for a little while. But I think as we get closer and, it's inevitable that some of our leaders are going to drop a match or 2. So I think he'll be right back up in there by the last couple days.
All right, Mac, what about our other Rikishi sitting at 6-2? It is Sekiwake Abi. And I forgot to look the stat up on the preview episode, but Abi is one of 2 Rikishi ever to get back-to-back 12-plus win Bashos as a Maegashira, and the first since 1980. So I don't think we really sat down to appreciate how impressive and unprecedentedly impressive he was in his return after his suspension. And then I also looked up how many Rikishi have done 11 back-to-back Bashos as a Maegashira, and there were 18 there. So, and that's something that Shodai did, like leading up to his Ozeki run. And so we're seeing Abi kind of do a similar thing in what a lot of us are kind of expecting to be an Ozeki run for Abi. So things are looking good so far.
Yeah,
Nope,
I
agree.
I'm gonna push back on the impressiveness simply because the reason why he got down there, like if we put Takakeisho down there, and when Asanoyama eventually comes back up, we might be seeing some similar performances.
I mean,
No, we knew he was this good.
Yeah.
Teruno Fuji didn't do it. Teruno Fuji
Yeah,
had
that's
every
true. He was coming
opportunity to
back
do the
from
same
injury
thing.
though.
He had
Like,
that
this
one where
is-
he was
Yeah.
injured in between his 2
Yeah.
I mean,
13s.
He's coming back from suspension, but it's not like when Abi was suspended, he was a Maegashira 5. It's not like he was an
He was
Ozeki.
jumping
It's not
in and
like
out of the
he-
joy. I will say though.
I'd say somebody jumping in and out of the joy isn't somebody I'd necessarily expect to get 12 plus wins as a Maegashira and back-to-back Basho. That's impressive no matter where you are in the Bonsuke, I feel like, unless like you're Maegashira 12 and then Maegashira 11 for some reason.
Yeah.
But I it's only happened twice in the history. I don't care the circumstances. I still think it's super impressive.
All right. Like, yeah, I get where you're kind of coming from. I think the second one definitely is something that he's definitely on a hot streak right now with Abi. But like the first time when he came in, like I don't know. We knew this guy was good. So of course we did good. And the reason why he got down there is because he fucked up. So
It's kind of
But it is because of that hot streak that you have to
there we
label
go. There
him.
goes our PG-13 rating again.
But it's because of that you have to label him a contender in this case. The 2 matches that he dropped against Onosho and Hoshoryu, looking at those back, like he got too high, the opponent got up underneath him, and Abi couldn't counter in time. So his sumo's still solid, and he's got excellent footwork, at least great ring sense for the matches that he did. I mean, today against Ura, same kind of deal. And so you can't count him out. So he's definitely a contender.
Yeah, let's kind of talk about that Ura Abi match a little bit. I don't know that we've seen the Henka, the sidestep. We've seen the stand up and do nothing. Is this the first retreat we have seen at the Tachiai?
He had a note about that. I was like, what did I just see?
Now, Fleric, you're our main gamesmanship kind of supporter here. So what are your thoughts on Ura's backwards Tachiai against Abi?
I like gamesmanship all the time, so I'm all for it. But it also really fits into his style of just kind of like backing up and being reactive. So I think it was smart. Also, I feel like the Tachi was a little messed up, like timing wise. I thought it was gonna be a Mono-E. Like I really did.
So did I, but I think that's just because of the awkward motion of moving backwards.
Yeah, it's
at
about
the
to say
start. I think the fists all made sense, but I think but yeah, I did feel like that was gonna
Amata.
be Mono-E. Or
Amata. Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh God, you can't even get my name right. Oh God.
Oh my goodness, words are hard.
What's
Yeah,
wrong with this podcast today?
Yeah, but like you say, I'm all for people Rikishi playing to their strengths against someone with Abi who has a really good Tachi because he just has such long arms and he uses them really well, like just pushing back. And so I was all for it. Good times.
Yeah, I think Ura kind of excels when he can make the match messy.
Yes.
So maybe by like instantly, whether it's an advantage to him or not, if he can instantly get the other guy off of plan A, maybe that was his thinking, but I don't know. It was
Toby
silly.
Zaru effect, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we started the Basho with all 42 Rikishi in the top division. That was the first time that had happened in almost 2 years since the July 2020 Basho after the canceled Basho. So we have had 3 Rikishi drop out since then. On day 4, Ishiura went Kyujo. He hurt his neck. I don't remember who it was up against, but you could tell immediately he hurt his neck in a match. It's not a serious neck issue. It sounds like he was just advised 2 weeks rest. So should be back next time, but he'll be down significantly further on the Bansuke. Actually could be in danger of demotion. We'll see. I'll need to take a look at that, but I think he might be in danger of demotion down to Juryo.
That'd be quite a drop, but yeah, I guess he's 5 right now, and he only managed the 1 win. So.
I'm saying it because we've seen Maegashira 3 with 0 wins drop down to Juryo.
Okay.
So Maegashira 5 with 1 is about the same
equivalent.
So we'll see. It's a borderline case. Day 7, Chiyo no Kuni went Kyujo. He had a deltoid injury. I'm not sure on the severity of that. But on day 6, after giving up his second Kinboshi, Yokozuna Terunofuji went Kyujo.
Went to Kyushu. Kyujo.
Where's everyone else?
I'm ready to sumo.
Oh crap! What month is it?
And he's been hiking his way back to Osaka since. So once he gets back, I'm sure he'll re-enter the tournament. Or he has osteoarthritis of the left knee.
It might be that too. Yeah,
and we might be very concerned about his future. I don't know much about osteoarthritis, but arthritis is a fairly chronic thing, so I don't think it's
very bad.
Away.
It's a lot of syllables, and it's about his knees, so that can't be good.
Yeah. So does that immediately put up any pings or red flags about being concerned for Terunofuji's future for any of you guys?
We've been concerned about his knees when he's winning U-shows. I
I
think
was
this is fair to say
this
that, like,
this is not news, Ryan.
it's news.
It's news that it's the first time that it's pulled him out.
Yeah. So
okay, fair.
I think it's very worrying, but as a Yokozuna, he can take a few months if he really needs to, and if he thinks that he can come back from it, then he will. And I don't know. Hopefully, we learn more in the next month or two while he has some recovery time.
Yeah. Was he one of the Rikishi who tested positive for COVID?
Yes.
Okay. I will be hopeful then that maybe just his training up to a Basho got interrupted because of that, and so maybe he's just not entirely up to, his knees are not entirely up to snuff.
There really wasn't much news other than hearing about Shodai, who I'm sure we're going to talk about soon.
Yep.
About like the severity. Like nobody was hospitalized, nobody was like in critical condition or anything. But
technically, Terunofuji was hospitalized, but it was for
isolation.
Yes.
Yeah. But regardless, like other than Shodai having lingering symptoms, we didn't really hear much on the severity of it. So yeah, I don't know who lost training time or who lost, who didn't recover from old injuries or anything like that. The news was basically, well, this entire half of everyone tested positive, but we're going to have a Basho. So like there really wasn't much more news than that, which is kind of frustrating for me. So I don't know, but either way, the fact that it's anything to do with the knees is the worst case scenario for him, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hard to know now whether this is going to have long-term effects. If he has to sit out the next Basho and isn't able to compete or has to pull out of the next Basho, then I'm going to officially be like, all right, it was a great run for Terunofuji, but I think he pushed it out about as far as he could. Not quite there yet, but we're on the path to that. Hopefully he comes back and goes 15-0, and it was worry about nothing. But let's worry.
He just needs to get some of that baby plasma from Takayasu.
Barrels, barrels of it.
Inject it right to the knee.
I would gladly take the plasma from my baby to send it to Terunofuji. I will inject it directly into his knee myself. I would be honored. So let's talk about Shodai for a little bit. We mentioned that he did have some lingering effects of COVID, just like getting out of breath immediately after facing like a Makushita Rikishi in his stable. And you saw that he was obviously not doing good from the start of this Basho. I think he started off 0-3, 0-4. Got a win against Onosho, which I appreciate. That's my chump. That's helping me out. So that's a solid that Shodai did for me. But then day 7 and 8 roll around, and Shodai is looking pretty good in these past 2 days. So I don't know if he just saw the 1-5 record and is like, this Ozeki gig's pretty sweet. I need to just suck it up, or if he's feeling better. But Fleric, after the past couple days, Shodai sitting at 3-5. He can only afford 2 more losses. He hasn't fought any of the leaders, including Takayumi, Takakeisho, Wakataka Kage, Abi. Do you think Shodai could pull off the comeback and keep his rank?
Beginning of the Basho, no way. But as you said, right now, it's kind of like thinking maybe, but when you just said like he could only lose 2 more and be okay, there's no way. There's no way. You might get some freebie matches, but I don't know.
What if he does the thing where he's just so irrelevant in the Yusho race? He's so far behind. We're not going to face him against Mitakayumi. Mitakayumi's got to face like Koto no Waka on day 15, and he had to face Takayasu on day 14. We just didn't have time to give him Shodai. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Oh, darn.
It's happened to him in the past anyway, where it's like, oh, he's no longer relevant. Well,
Exactly.
okay.
Shodai could skip some of those, some of the Ozeki around him just because he's irrelevant to the Yusho race at the end. I will say, little surprised, but I am cheering for Shodai. I do want to see him keep that Ozeki rank, and it's purely selfish reasons, because if he drops his Ozeki rank, I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense, and then it's no fun to make fun of him for
Always right in the
bad
world.
Ozeki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Less
say it would.
interesting, Yeah.
Yes.
I will say it would be sad if it's because of the COVID of it all, the
Yeah,
reason why he
yeah.
drops down. So I'm kind of with you in that. I'm kind of actually pulling for him a little bit,
Absolutely.
but he can only lose 2 more. If he loses
I know.
3,
That's tough. That's tough.
there's no way.
I'm
Because
with Ryan. Go ahead, Flair.
I was gonna say, like you said, like he might get some like easier matchups, but he's been kind of struggling against easier matchups.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Ryan. I kind of feel like it's somehow more chaos if he does well.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we almost always root for like the more
Chaos.
chaotic, interesting types of things. So Shodai going 8-7 is somehow like the most chaotic, crazy thing he could do. So yeah, that sounds like fun. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Let's talk about our final newcomer to the Sanyaku ranks this Basho. Actually, he's the first newcomer to the Sanyaku ranks, but the 4th guy that's at his career high
There you
in
go.
the Sanyaku ranks, Hoshoryu, doing pretty well for himself through the first 4 days, 8 days as well. He is 4-4 at this point in the Basho. For me, I don't know about you guys. It's been a lot of Shodai wins for Hoshoryu here. Just kind of getting backed up to the Tawara, and then I was a little bit more flexible at the end and threw you out, and
Just like Abi's match.
you barely touched ahead of me. So yay, I win. But he hasn't been dominating the match. We haven't seen like any cool trips or throws from him.
He
too much.
yeeted Takakeisho pretty good.
Yeah.
Takakeisho pretty good. That is true. But what are you guys thinking about Hoshoryu this time?
I think that most of his toughest matchups are behind him, so I'm fairly optimistic. We'll get into it later, but I had to pick a new champ for our prediction series, and Hoshoryu was sitting at 3-3, or so he was 3-3 the day that I had to pick somebody new, and I'm like, well, he's already beaten Takakeisho. He already lost to THRU Fuji, which blows. You know, he loses to him and then the guy pulls out.
Yeah.
He's lost to Wakataka Kage, who's on fire. He managed to beat Abi. So yeah, I'm fairly high on Hoshoryu.
He has Shodai tomorrow.
He does, but that is his last. That's the last Ozeki that he's got to face.
And he's undefeated against Shodai.
It's
so
not
that
one's
a fluke.
probably
It's
good.
like 4-0 or 5-0 against Shodai.
Yeah. Enough that there's a pattern, right?
Yeah.
But after that, that's everybody who's ranked above him. So he only has Maegashira left on his schedule after that. So yeah, I'm optimistic. He got through the Komusubi through Maegashira 2 generally have like the absolute ass end of the first week, and he managed to make it through okay. So
look no further than Takanosho and Ura, both sitting, and Meisei at Maegashira 3.
Speaking of the ass end of things,
all sitting with 1-7 records, and I don't I think I would have
Has
expected.
Takanosho
Ura-
done that bad in the upper ranks?
No, he hasn't. This is very. I think this is a very surprising result for Takanosho. We know from a while ago that like they said he had like a torn ACL and he never got like surgery or repair for it. So I don't know if maybe that's coming back to bite him in the ass. His only wins against Shodai. And that means nothing because that was on
As I
day
say, that
two.
means nothing.
Yeah.
When Shodai was even more firmly in the Shodai phase of his tournament.
Yeah. But yeah, Takanosho absolutely fell off a cliff. Ura showing he can't hang with the upper rankers this Basho. And Meisei is a real surprising one for me. I mean, he was sitting at Sekiwake Komusubi the past few Basho, and he's either 2-6 or 1-7. And
He's
kind of
also 1-7.
Yeah, he's 1-7,
Yeah.
I think.
surprising results for these.
You know who his win is over?
Is it
Shodai?
Shodai?
It's Takanosho.
Oh.
Then that would put Meisei ahead of Takanosho.
Now Ura, guess who his single win is over?
Shodai.
Shodai.
No.
Oh god, it's just like this weird like incestuous
suck.
web of sucking. Yeah.
the memes, the trifecta
Oh.
of memes at the bottom of the Bansuke and now at the top end of the
I mean,
Bansuke.
Aqua is absolutely delivered, but other than him, like the bottom of the Bansuke is less memey than we kind of thought it would be coming in. But
That's true.
but the top of the Bansuke,
There's your goal.
I think we underrated because I think Shodai's been king meme for a while.
yeah. Well, yeah.
well,
okay.
yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
bottom of the Bansuke, it was just concentrated. All the funny low rank guys were together. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I'm sorry. So on the topic we were trying to discuss,
Takanosho.
Takanosho and Meisei, I'm kind of disappointed because they were, they're two of the guys that we look at as like this next generation of Sanyaku mainstays. Ura, this is his highest rank ever, so like we didn't really know what to expect, but we kind of were pessimistic, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know on that one, but yeah, it's interesting that Meisei's just completely fell off the cliff, especially when Tamawashi just also yeeted him as that was another absolute yeet of a match, which is now a thing that I say. When Tamawashi sent him flying.
You keep using that word. I do not think
I
it
do not
means
think
what
it
you
means
think it
what you-
means.
You know what? So you talked about like Takanosho may say like being Joy mainstays and like kind of Sanyaku, not
Mhm.
quite mainstays, but solidly in there over the past year.
For the
So
last
kind
year or
of
so, yeah.
Daisho as well. And I think Daisho's probably sitting at like 4-4 or something.
Yes, he
This
is.
Basho. I mean, if we can drop those guys out of the Sanyaku ranks and replace them with Abi, Wakataka Kage, Hoshoryu, and kind of keep that permanently,
Ooh.
I'm not gonna be mad.
Wow.
I'll tell you what. That would not disappoint me in the slightest. I'm not saying those other three guys are a little boring and uninteresting to me, but I'm 100% saying that exact thing.
Yeah.
Kiribayama could jump up into that depending
Yeah.
on his second week as well. And
Mm.
he's always
Koto no Waka. Watch
Yeah,
out for him.
I'd say Kiribayama more than Koto no Waka is just balls to the wall entertainment. So I would love for Kiribayama to be back up in the Joy again.
Mm. All right. So is there anybody else that anybody wants to talk about that we haven't touched on quite yet? Fleric.
So is it like just good, like trying to win, or like just totally a
Who-
bastard? Toby Zaru?
Whoever you want to
Wait,
talk
what?
about right now. The floor is
Y-
yours.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So is it totally like just good gamesmanship trying to win, or is it actually just being a total bastard? Toby Zaru on his match where he
Okay.
clearly touched the ground, then he just kept
Oh,
going for it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
I
was
must have
bad.
missed this. What explain
There was
to
a
me.
mono E because it looked like a close throw, but the mono E was actually
Wasn't even for
because
that.
Tobizaru like swiped the ground with his hand like 10 seconds earlier.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yep.
was this?
It was against Sadana Omi on day 7? No. Hang on. Yes,
Man,
day 6. Day 6.
We really need
against Sadana
Sumo
Omi.
DB to be back up.
No, I
We're
got it. It's
helpless.
right here.
No, I know, but like it's throwing me off my
Yeah.
rhythm. But yeah, that was
This is
day
awful.
6.
Yeah.
The
I
throw was a
completely missed
cool.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, go
I
back and
just
rewatch
thought
It's
I
really
just thought the
weird.
mono E was surrounding the throw. I guess I completely missed the commentary about it being about the hand that touched apparently.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kintama Yama's video does a
Mhm.
good job
Yeah.
of showing the replay and explaining. Oh, they actually were looking at this, so
Okay.
check this out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
watched
was-
Sumo, so
Yeah, but I'm just trying to imagine. Like, I guess just keep on going with the match.
They
'cause
didn't
he
call it,
obviously
so
knew.
go.
I guess, is there any graceful way to like get out of a match? Like, I'm done, or do you have to kind of just essentially keep going for it?
I imagine you could if you he couldn't have like been unsure, right?
That's
we've-
just it.
No way.
We've seen.
No way.
I feel like I've seen somebody like step out, and then the other guy doesn't realize they stepped out. They're like kind of circling around THRU. Somebody accidentally steps too far back, and they step out. And I feel like I've seen them just kind of let up and give up, and the other guy's like, "Oh, okay." So I feel like THRU could have done the same thing, just kind of just do the thing when you clearly committed a foul in the NFL, but you want people to think you didn't. Just throw your arms up and be like, "Hey, I'm done."
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite. It's like I
didn't touch
commit
him.
a foul.
I didn't touch him.
I didn't touch him at all.
man.
I know. It'll be interesting if this comes up when he eventually becomes Yokozuna Run.
Oh,
They're kind of
jeez.
pointing to this like, I don't know if he has Hinkaku to
Yeah.
actually do this. I know. I thought that was kind of note, and it was interesting.
I want to call. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of Prince meme, probably not King meme because that's still Shodai, but getting off to a hot start, Aqua getting knocked out by
I literally was
Tochinoshi.
going to bring out
Yeah.
Aqua. Yeah, I thought it was Aqua time. We had to go through. his
Yeah.
meme.
But yeah, just Tochinoshin kind of leading with a forearm shiver, just landed it in the sweet spot on Aqua and just buckled his knee and dropped Aqua immediately.
And Aqua, like, I don't think Tochinoshin was even like aiming for a knockout punch. I think Aqua
No.
just like tried to like headbutt him in the chest or something like that, and it like, in classic Aqua fashion, just the funniest possible outcome. It was destiny, you know. Like,
And it's funny because he's okay.
yes,
It's
bingo.
funny because he's okay.
Also, when he tried to do like a full-on Ippon Zeoi on
Oh,
Shiokuni,
That was so
Oh, that one was my favorite.
do you think that he might have like helped injure Shiokuni's arm with that by trying?
Well, you saw him kind of shaking his shoulder out a little bit, like,
Yeah.
"Ah."
I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't-
Kuni
I
was
don't-
already taped up real good by that point, but like it couldn't have helped.
No.
And I don't know that Kuni did much to affect the outcome of that match. I think it was all just Aqua trying to throw Kuni and then just throwing himself onto the ground.
Yeah,
Because Chiyo Kuni kept his feet the whole time. He was like, what are you doing?
you don't have my belt, right? Like,
Exactly.
What are you doing, man?
Too bad he's going down to Juryo after
What,
this show.
Was it like right away on day 2 that he also like completely annihilated a side judge?
Yep.
Just doing like the classic Aqua full like floor bump off of the apron onto the ref kind of a
Yep.
deal. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that he is so durable.
Yeah, say what you want about him, but yes, he is durable.
I wonder if it's one of those things like, you know, like there's the stereotype that like the drunk driver doesn't get injured in the crash because they're like, you know, loose and they go with it. I wonder if Aqua is kind of like that same deal. Like he just sells out when he's in the air and he lands like completely ragdolls himself, but somehow that helps him not get hurt. I don't know. It's
Could be.
fascinating though.
All right.
That's clearly the peak of our discussion on the podcast.
Yes, I was
So
about to
let's-
say,
should we just like wrap it up.
we're
or-
good.
Does anybody else have anybody or anything they want to talk about from week 1?
I do have one legit one.
Okay.
Koto Waco has been wrestling like a crazy man, and it's awesome.
He's at Maegashira 12, so he'll get 10, 11 wins, get vaulted too far up to Bonsuke, and then follow up with 2 to 3 wins the next 3 Basho.
We should check that that list we had, the volatility index that we talked about. See if because he feels like a pretty volatile record kind of guy. But either way, he's been giving it like 110% wrestling effort every time, and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah,
He's
I think
always
sitting
entertaining, but
sitting at 5-3. Tochinoshin also sitting at 5-3, so he might be staving off demotion one more time. We'll see how week 2 goes for him.
it could be his first Kachikoshi in like 4 years or something.
I think that's right. Yes,
I don't want to check it, but I think it's something like that.
I think he hit Ozeki and then never had another winning record.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Oh, buddy.
So down in Juryo, we have Ryuden. He is the lone undefeated Rikishi after he beat my new favorite, Kita no Waka, on day 8. They were both 7-0 going into the matchup. And Ryuden kind of dominated. It was disappointing for Kita no Waka.
Pure Yorikiri win. Like that was a dominant win.
And then Kita no Waka is tied with former Makuuchi Rikishi Oho, who is looking like a man on a mission after that disappointing week 2 last Basho. So we're gonna see Oho back in Makuuchi for the Natsu Basho. And Midori Fuji, the little guy, the Katasakashi specialist, he's also sitting at 7-1. Got a lucky hair pull win today. So
take it.
Got it.
take what you can get. And then in other very exciting Juryo news, 19-year-old Atami Fuji is 5-3 in his first Basho as a Sekitori, and the wins he's getting, they're not those Shodai wins. They're nice, dominating wins. So Atami Fuji,
a 19-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might be younger than Hokuseiho, and Hokuseiho is still in Makushita. Granted, he had that knee injury in his first match in Juryo, but Atami Fuji, watching some of Hokuseiho matches, it leaves a little bit to be desired. He's completely winning on I'm way taller than you, and might be the softest Tachiai in all of sumo wrestling.
So the Ichinojo effect, if you will.
Yeah,
We've
something
already
like that.
established Ura can go backwards on the Tachiai, so maybe he's the second slowest.
Yeah.
Tachiai. He's the slowest one with a positive velocity. How about that?
Yeah.
I did look that back up. He definitely intentionally went backwards. So you're very right on that, Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny.
So let's take a quick break and we will come back with an update on our Champ Chump standings to see who is going to have to eat the 1-chip challenge on our recap episode.
If you enjoy the Grand Sumo Breakdown podcast, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service.
You can find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search for Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Support the show on Patreon and check out our blog, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com.
If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO.
Also, watch us on YouTube.
All right, so I just got a text from my wife. She says, "What's this about my plasma being less valuable? They don't even want your plasma." So I don't know what my wife has overheard, or what Jake's wife has overheard and then texted to my wife.
It's probably that. The walls are
probably
very thin in this house.
There you go. Tell her, don't worry. It's just your baby's plasma.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
It's because you're a woman. All right, she should have the whole story now.
Okay.
Honestly, that is kind of the whole explanation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're taking a stand here. We're the #1 sexist podcast in sumo media.
Before we move on, bad dad move on my part.
Oh, really?
Riley's taking a nap right now, so I probably shouldn't have yelled very loudly at my wife.
Ugh.
But hopefully she stays down, or I'm gonna be in trouble.
Hey, that's not your problem for the
that's
next,
about to-
15 minutes? Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so let's
Oh,
go back and
jeez.
discuss each Rikishi and every one of their matches
Every
very
single one of
thoroughly,
them.
just to extend this as long as possible.
If we make it like 5 or 6 more hours, then she'll be in bed for the night. So you're golden.
She'll have to forget about it eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
You owe me. Your dumb Crohn's makes your blood useless.
Gabby with the
It
comeback.
does raise a good point. Your blood is nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And it's not the Crohn's that makes my blood useless. It's the drugs to suppress the Crohn's that makes my blood
Uh-huh.
If you just let your immune system run amok on your digestive system, then your plasma would be perfectly valuable.
Yes.
10 in a year, but yeah, I could
Yeah,
sell
exactly.
plasma.
Yeah.
But you could die.
Do you
want to
sell
selling all
plasma
that
or
plasma?
not, Ryan?
The sweet
These are the
male
things you need to weigh
plasma.
out.
I did look it up one time because I was considering it at a time I was very poor. Plasma is not a livelihood. you cannot make a lot of money off of plasma unless
It's baby plasma.
It's baby plasma.
There we go.
All right. Jake, where does the GSP belt?
I don't even know. So,
Yes,
like I said, I walked into my home after vacation about like 10 minutes before we started recording. But luckily, it's a very easy answer here because the GSP belt started on Nishikawa in Upper Makushita, and then it was quickly taken on day 3 by Tochimaru, who has hung on to it since then. Tochimaru is sitting at 4-0. He will face Chiyono Umi on day 9, but he's looking strong. This could be, after 10 years in sumo, Tochimaru is looking on pace to get promoted to Juryo for the first time.
I think he's Makushita 1, and he's already got 4 wins. So yeah, I think
West Makushita number 1. So unless he completely craps the bed and the Juryo Bansuke gets weird, he's pretty much guaranteed, but I don't want to say that now because I don't want to jinx it and then have to do more work on tracking where the belt goes.
Yep. All right. I think one of the more less desirable punishments we've had in a while.
An actual punishment.
An actual punishment.
So let's give some updates on that. So we did have, as we mentioned, Jake had to switch off of Terunofuji to Hoshoryu for his new champ, and Fleric had to switch off of Ishiura after he pulled out and wisely switched over to Aqua
for his chump.
For his chump.
Not his champ.
Yes. And so, yeah. So Fleric is currently leading with 14 points with his team of Mitaka Yumi and Aqua. I am 3 points behind at 11 points with my team of Takakeisho and Onosho. And then it's followed by Mac at 9 points with his team of Abi and the stubborn pick of Wakamoto Haru, biting him in the ass again. And then Jake is pulling up the rear with Hoshoryu and Koto Kuzan, who is not quite faltering as much as Jake wanted in his Makuuchi debut.
That bastard's doing okay. It's
so what is on the line here, people? It is our Eat Spicy Foods challenge, and I threw...
We can do better. We should work on the title.
We should work on that.
Eat Spicy Food challenge.
Yeah. Well, and
things that burn going in your mouth and burn coming back out. What could they be?
And I threw caution to the wind. I threw down the gauntlet. On the preview episode, I said that I would buy the 1 chip challenge, the one that people do on like TV shows and radio shows to show like how hot these things are, and then they're incapacitated for an hour. I bought that, and the winner will eat that, or the loser. Probably the loser.
You already said it.
What? The winner eats it. The winner eats it.
I'm gonna need to change my chump pick.
And in the future, my shorts.
Yep.
So I'm bringing that, and that'll obviously be the closer. We'll probably do that like right at the very end, so the person can podcast the rest of the time. Jake is bringing to the table his spicy pickle whiskey.
Which, if I lose, I'm gonna need a couple shots right at the beginning because so that I can endure the rest of that BS.
But Mac and Fleric, have you guys put any thought into what you are going to be providing to this challenge?
I have, and I will be bringing a jar of jalapenos.
Ooh, just straight up jalapenos.
Just straight up jalapenos right from the jar.
All right, okay. And Fleric, you can go hard on this because you're looking pretty safe.
I was gonna say, actually, I was confused by this because I assumed the 1 chip was gonna be the one spicy thing that we bring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in the past, I think when you had
we
to do
each
it,
have
we
something.
each brought something. So like we had.
Oh, okay.
Habanero slices. I think somebody brought
the
wasabi.
The wasabi one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to give this some thought. I do think I'm quite willing to lead, so maybe I could do something just dastardly, just like a cup of water, which is what they tell you not to do.
That actually is bad. Seriously, no, that is bad.
But maybe I'll be nice and like maybe something to maybe ease the pain, because like I'll be a generous Yokozuna, as I say,
as you are.
Yeah, and just bring some
potential
sandpaper.
Yokozuna Fleric.
Yeah, and just bring some sandpaper so you can just kind of scrape off your tongue and be good to go.
Yeah. As the guy currently in the lead for needing to eat all this shit, I would request a new tongue. Yes, that would be great.
Okay, what kind of grit?
Jake, if history has anything to say about this one, I'm probably gonna lose.
Yeah,
you've lost 2 in a row, Mac.
Yeah, I've lost 2 in a row. My best efforts, like, these seem solid picks. No, like, all right, the sumo gods just enjoy my pain. Okay.
We all do. And this isn't one
Yeah.
that you can actually turn around on us and enjoy.
No, that's what I mean. I'm like, no, this one's actually gonna suck.
Unless you're some kind of weird sadist, but
There are many things.
masochist.
Don't
Massive.
encourage him.
That's
Don't
why I'm like
encourage him.
shaking my head, like, no, no.
All right. Let's move on to our lightning round.
God, I forgot how worried I had to be about this.
You were
I
on
don't like it.
vacation. You were in California. Sumo was so far from your mind. And then you come back to Iowa and the harsh reality.
At least I'll probably get to have more of that spicy pickle whiskey.
It means
That was a game theory pick because I don't find it nearly as unpleasant as everyone else does.
and I've never had it, which is why I'm like, all right, I have to give this a try.
Mac's gonna pretend to like it no matter what. I'll say that.
Well, pretty much.
I mean, as Fleric and I can both attest to, it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
You don't like
No.
alcohol anyway, Ryan.
It's not that I don't like alcohol. I just don't drink it because I don't like being drunk.
Whatever.
They'll taste
Potato.
Lightning round. Jake, who's impressed you the most so far?
I've gone this whole episode without saying it. Mitakayumi, I guess. Sure. Almost
that
said it.
bastard Wakamoto Haru.
Fleric.
I was actually gonna say Wakamoto Haru, but I will say Takayasu. 8-0. You can't. That's a good position to be in.
I will go with the younger Atami brother, Wakataka Kage. Who has disappointed you the most so far, Mac?
Takanosho.
All right, how about you, Fleric?
It's probably that guy too, Takanosho.
I'll go with Ura. Would have been fun to see him break into the Sanyaku ranks. How about you, Jake?
Meisei, another guy that I feel like should be up there, should belong up there, but yeah, crap in the bed.
All right. Fleric, what has been your favorite match of the Basho so far?
I am still thinking about Tobizaru touching the ground, so I think I'm going to go with that one.
All right. For me, it's Wakataka Kage versus Daisho, just for Wakataka Kage picking up and slamming Daisho to the ground at the end. Absolutely love that.
Beautiful.
What about you, Jake?
For me, it's weird. It's a short one. It wasn't super exciting. Tamawashi absolutely demolishing. Oh shoot, was that? Hold please. Meisei, demolishing Meisei, all in like the span of a second. He like tries to keep Meisei at distance, then he goes for the kotenage to force Meisei to create distance, and then blasts him the hell off the dohyo. Cool. Right. 1 second that encapsulates Tamawashi's style entirely. It was awesome.
All right, what about you, Mac?
Teru Tsuyoshi versus Oyama. Anytime you can get a Sukui Nage throw against Oyama with that big of a size difference, bravo.
All right. The most exciting potential matchup, and this one is a little bit harder than most times. I'm just gonna say Takakesho Mitakayumi. I can't come up with anything else because I don't know who Takayasu's gonna face.
Right.
What about you, Jake?
That was the one I was going to go for. 2 Ozeki, both in the running, both looking pretty good, at least in the last couple days. Yeah, that's the one for me.
All right. Mac?
Shodai v Mitakayumi v Takakesho. I want to see if he can just be the spoiler and just ruin everything.
I don't think we're gonna see it.
I don't think
they're
so
going to be
either,
fighting
but-
for the U show.
But I get
Shodai's gonna be elsewhere.
All right, let's see what happens.
It would be on brand for him to have them be some of his only wins, though.
Yeah.
right.
All right. What about you, Fleric?
I'm going with Abi Takakesho. 2 people who love to push, see who wins.
All right. Jake, if you were a stripper, what would your stripper name be?
Cinnamon, spelled with an S.
Mac.
Spice.
All right. And Fleric, would you be everything nice?
Sure. I was going to go with butts. So I'll
Coming
go
up-
with everything nice instead.
Everything
Coming up to
nice.
the main stage, dancing is butts. Mine would be Rick Steele. All right, Mac, who is going to win?
I wish you wouldn't do that. Mitakayumi.
Fleric, who's winning this thing?
Takayumi.
F it, Wakataka Kage.
Oh,
Jake,
Don't do this to me. Just move on.
who's gonna win?
Don't do
Jake,
this
gonna
to
do
me.
it.
you either have to say the name or you have to go against him.
Yeah, I can't do it.
You deserve the one chip challenge, truly. All right, we'll let you off easy here. We
Oh no,
won't force.
I'm digging in here. I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so that is it for our Midway episode.
Ryan, have you learned how to close out a podcast since the last one?
We're
Wow.
right now we're gonna stick with Jake. Hit the stop recording button.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time.
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.